Hey guys, Dr. Anthony Pellegrino from Chiropractic in Seagirt, New Jersey. Just wanted to talk to you guys real quickly about a question that we see from a lot of parents who bring kids into the office about how can chiropractic help ear infections. Now, a lot of times they've seen blog posts, even heard their friends tell them that maybe they've seen their friends' kids see improvements in ear infections, and they want to know how does this actually happen. Now, what an ear infection is we're often told it's a drainage issue. It's fluid building up in the ear. And then what happens is because fluid builds in the ear, bacteria grow and cultivate, right? And then all of a sudden we have an infection. Now, easiest way about thinking what actually happens here is if I were to go get a nice cup of water from a nice filtered water system, I could take that right now, it's going to be nice cool to have a sip, it's going to be delicious. Yet if I were to go take that very same cup, pour it, go outside, heat of a Jersey summer, leave it out there at 98.6 degrees for a week, come back, take a sip of that water, there's going to be some bacteria. I mean, that's going to be pretty gross. I wouldn't take a sip of the water that's been sitting outside for a week. Now, what happens in our kids is for some reason the eustachian tube in the neck, which is just kind of show you guys in a cross section, but right here is the opening for the eustachian tube, which is meant to actually allow for proper equilibrium in the ear, allow for proper drainage as well. It gets blocked and fluid begins to build up, and then because fluid begins to build up at a beautiful 98.6 degrees, bacteria start to grow, and then all of a sudden we get an infection. Traditionally, medical approach there has been, well, because we have an infection, what we do is step one is we do an antibiotic to kill the bacteria that's there, and if this keeps happening, what we'll do is we'll put in tubes, which are artificial plastic tubes that come and artificially hold this tube open. Okay? Now what we do is, well, neither of those. We want to know, instead of just keeping the tube open or just treating the symptom, we want to say, well, why is it being closed in the first place? Now what we find is, just to kind of look at the proximity here, in this cross section, you can kind of see here is the spine. This right here is C2, which is the axis, and this right here is the front part of C1, the atlas vertebra, which if you watched these videos in the past, you've heard us talk about. Now this top bone in the neck, and you can see how close these are, is very easily misaligned or subluxated during the birthing process. Easy way to think about it, you think about baby's head starts pressing on here, coming out from mom, puts a lot of pressure and tension on the head and neck. Then if we have to have any external force, like a manual traction or forceps or vacuum or C-section, where the doctor's pulling on the head and neck of baby, causing additional tension, you can imagine how easily this gets misaligned. Now you can see how close this is, right, to the musculature that surrounds that tube, to the nerves here that control the spasming of those muscles. And what happens when we have that subluxation or that misalignment at C1 is these muscles can begin to crimp off that eustachian tube. So instead of going in there, throwing in, right, the plastic tubes or taking antibiotics, what we as chiropractors do is specifically analyze for misalignments and interference up here at the top of the neck in children. We deliver pinpoint specific adjustments to actually correct what's going on here, so just continuing to treat that symptom. And we oftentimes see children's bodies able to heal, function the way that they should. It's not uncommon for us to see in our office children who have had ear infections in the past stop getting those recurring ear infections because we're able to get to the cause here instead of just continuing to treat the symptom. Now the nice thing about this, and really the most important part, is because it's not about the symptom specifically, but because the brain controls and coordinates the function of everything in the entire body, sending messages down here, down the spinal cord, out to every organ, every cell, every tissue, by taking care and correcting any interference in the nerves there from those misalignments of the spine, not only can we see improvements in individual symptoms like ear infections, but overall quality of life, growth, and development are going to happen 100%. Hope you guys got some good information from this video, and I'll see you guys soon.